Well, it's officially my favorite holiday of the year. Happy Halloween. Just a few things I gotta note first. Obviously, I don't have like the full Ghostface get up this year. This is actually a bit of a hand me down or hand me to the side or hand me an extra. So basically, both my younger siblings are going as Ghostface. But I guess one of them had like an extra mask or something, so I just kind of, my mom just kind of handed it off to me, and I was like, you know what, that's cool. And so I still have my one Ghostface mask because we're gonna be talking about that. I actually went as Ghostface once when I was a kid, when I was like 10 or 11 or something. Which is crazy. That was like over a decade ago at this point. Doesn't feel like it's been that long. So I still have that mask. But it's turned kind of like yellow, and I don't really know if I want to put that on my face necessarily. This one's kind of cool. It has like a blood pump or something, but I didn't really want to like put the blood in it because I don't know. There's just been like a whole like even getting this thing going in the first place. I think this is more like a kid's mask or something like that because it doesn't exactly fit my face properly, but you know it's like wide enough to where you can't really tell. And when I was trying to put it on originally, I wanted to do something kind of cool where, you know, I have my long emo hair, so I was going to let it, like, kind of go across whatever and just kind of have it look cool, like Ghostface has, like, emo bangs or something. But I ended up hitting my eye with one of the parts of this mask, I guess, and it kind of, like, it didn't hurt necessarily, but I mean, it was still hitting my eye. So yeah, you know, that kind of sucks, and my eye's still kind of recovering from that. I still have like a bit of pain from that, and actually, as I have this thing on, there's things squeezing the sides of my eyeballs, in here. So you know, it's not the most comfortable fit in the world, but you know, it's fine. We're doing this for the content. Anyway, yeah, I was gonna try to figure out how this blood pump works, but like, I don't know. Do they? Yeah, no, the only warnings and things they have on here are something about suffocating. Oh, there's like a heart inside of here or something, or is this like a blood thing? I don't know. It's very, uh, yeah, I don't know what this is. I mean, maybe we can open it up and take a look. Like, I mean, I don't know. Do I really want to risk all this? I don't want to mess the mask up. I think I'll just hold off for a minute. But anyway, I thought today it'd be kind of funny to look back at all of my Halloween costumes from the past and just kind of like sort of rank them. Now, again, I can barely see anything, so, you know, this is going to be interesting. And unfortunately, the only picture I have is like a collage, which means I don't know how you want to do this. Do I just say, like, second picture top row or something? Because if I try to crop it and just, like, zoom in on each picture, it's going to look really blurry, and then, you know, that wouldn't look good either. But, you know, maybe that would be the best way to do it? I don't know. I love how I've only been wearing this for, like, 5 minutes and my face is already sweating. But anyway, I got the picture of all my Halloween costumes from over the years, so we're going to go ahead and put them on screen now. So, like I said, there's no way to really, like, good way to crop this and blow it up on screen without blurring it out, so we're just going to kind of go through and rank each of them. First up, we have Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. I know people say Caribbean. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Tomato, tomato, get over it. I don't even remember how old I was when I did that one. I want to say I was maybe like 5 or 6 at absolute most. I honestly have no idea. I remember I wore that to go trick-or-treating in my aunt and uncle's, I don't even know what you want to call it, I guess neighborhood, complex, whatever it was. And I remember I lost the belt for it, which was really unfortunate because the belt was like one of the coolest parts of it. I mean, I still have my sword and everything. But yeah, I remember that costume was really complicated to get on for some reason too. Like, you had to wear the hat a certain way. There was something with like the bandana. I was still like a stupid 5-year-old kid. All I knew is that I wanted Snickers and Hershey's bars. And, you know, I was sitting here trying to figure out like the complex mathematical equations and angles and degrees and heights of hats and how to wear them and tip them on your head properly. And it was too much to get the exact look down. So, you know, it was just one of those things. I kind of just let my parents do it and then, you know, just tried not to touch it. But obviously I still ended up messing up because I literally lost the belt by the end of the night. So, you know, do what you will with that. Next up, putting the picture back on screen here, we got the doctor outfit, which I remember, that was, I think my brother, my next younger brother, because I have 3 younger siblings, I'm the oldest, and, my next younger brother, he was maybe 1 or 2, you can kind of see like half of him in that picture, but I went as like a doctor. I don't really remember anything about that outfit just because it wasn't too complex, right? You put on the doctor suit, you have the mask and the, I don't know, with the doctor headphone things, whatever those are called. I think they're called like stethoscopes or whatever the heck. I might be thinking of the wrong thing. They like listen to heartbeats or whatever. But yeah, I don't remember too much about that one because it just wasn't, you know, there was nothing wrong with it. Like, it was a fine Halloween costume. Next up, we got Tow Mater, the third picture on the top row. You can also see, like, kind of part of my mom in that picture, but not really because it's like scratched out in the picture. You know, just doing that to respect privacy and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, I do actually remember that costume. It was pretty cool because it was kind of like, I don't want to say soft and fluffy, but it was kind of soft. It was pretty cool. The hat I had on was really cool too because I put it sideways. I was, I don't know, I was like a funny kid. I never went with the norms. I didn't wear hats normally, and I didn't really put them backwards either. I'd like put them off to the side, put them at a 45-degree angle. I'd have it, going in weird ways. I was just like a funky little kid in general. But yeah, that was a fun costume to do. I loved cars growing up, still love cars to this day, and so yeah, that was a cool one. Alright, so the next one, first picture, second row, we got the Mafia outfit, and this was indeed inspired by The Godfather, because, at that point I was already watching like the Godfather movies and playing like the Godfather game that was on PS2 and stuff back in the day, and one of my favorite games of all time, by the way. I still go back to play that game a ton, and yeah, so I wanted to wear that just because it was really cool, and that's about it. That's all the lore there for that one, really. But yeah, it did look pretty fly. It looks pretty cool. Next up, we got some funny lore about this one. So, second picture, second row, there's me with like the zombie outfit, like a zombie doctor, and it looks pretty cool. But here's where the funny lore comes in. It wasn't necessarily like, God, is it called a hemorrhoid? I don't think it's called a hemorrhoid. I think that's a hernia. Isn't a hemorrhoid like something really disgusting? Okay, so I kind of had like a hernia. I was like maybe in 5th grade. No, maybe. I don't know. It wasn't 5th grade. It was somewhere between like 4th, 5th grade, I think. But anyway, I had like a hernia or something similar to that. It wasn't exactly a hernia, but it was something else. But basically, my right testicle was so swollen or something. Like, I was walking like the Penguin, from like Batman. Like, I was walking like the Penguin. I don't remember exactly what happened. It wasn't inherently painful. Like, it kind of was, I guess. But like I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't just normal pain. It was like a swollen pain. And I can't tell, like, I forget how it happened or what caused it. I forget. I don't think it was a hernia necessarily. It was like something else. I mean, like, I'm fine now, obviously. This was cleared up within like a month. They just had to put me on some like medication and just told me to like take it easy. So yeah, I don't really remember what it was, what caused it, how it happened. But, yep, I was a zombie doctor with a swollen nut. Next up, we got third picture, second row. We got Ghostface there. That one was a lot of fun to do. I do remember it was a very hot costume to wear, though. I had a couple ones like that, like the one we'll be going to next. But this one, I do remember having to take the mask off a couple times, just being, like, covered in sweat, because it was just absolutely insane wearing that thing. But yeah, that one was a lot of fun to do. Ghostface is just like iconic. Next up, we got first picture, third row, and it's like you can barely see it because it was taken on, like a very early smartphone. It was probably like one of those like HTC things back in, oh god, I don't even know what year, or maybe it was like Samsung S. No, that's not a Samsung S3. It's too pixely to be that. I don't even know what phone she had at the time, but I'm confident in saying that one would have been back in like 2013 or 2012 or somewhere back before then. But anyway, yeah, so I did like this zombie thing, and it was a full head mask. I actually still have it to this day. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I remember every time I took it off, there would be this like the giant ocean of sweat that would build up in the mask that would literally fall off of my face and drain out of the mask, and I'd have to sit there going like this for a minute for all the sweat to fall out. Dude, it was absolutely insane. It would just pool up. It was crazy. But yeah, it was pretty rad nonetheless. That was one of my favorite ones that I've ever done just because it looks so cool. Next up, we have second picture, bottom row, Corey Taylor from Slipknot, specifically the All Hope Is Gone mask. That one was just more of like one that I just sort of threw together because obviously at that time, I want to say I was like 16 in that picture maybe. Yeah, so that was when I still lived in Pennsylvania, and this was like way before I broke my ankle and everything, and obviously after that I never really got to do anything like that again. So yeah, I just put the mask on, I put on like a black outfit, and that was about it, really simple. I had my red hair at the time, so it looked pretty cool. But yeah, that's really all the lore for that one, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, I have like a sense of nostalgia, I guess you could say, for that night, just because it's hard for me to talk about everything that happened that night or just like what was going on in my life at the time, but that was one of the last nights and one of like the last positive memories I have from life before like the pandemic and everything, and it's one of the last times that I can point at to where I still felt like I was living real life, because if I'm gonna be honest, nowadays, like ever since the pandemic and ever since life just got crazy, I don't really feel like I even exist anymore. I just kind of feel like I'm like this weird concept. I'm like a peg in the machine, a screw in the wheel, whatever you want to call it, just like another number in society. And yeah, so I just remember like that was when I was still like a cigarette smoker and everything. And I just remember smoking an egregious amount of cigarettes that night, just walking all around town, grabbing candy with my buds. At the end of the night, me and my one buddy, I went back to his house and we sat at his kitchen table and just laid out all of our candy and all of our goodies there on the table. And then I went on his front porch because he had this really cool, I don't even remember I want to say it was like a swing type thing almost on his front porch, or just like this really cool bench or something. I don't know. My memory is hazy. I was also, drinking a lot at the time. But anyway, yeah, I remember spending a lot of time on that bench anytime I used to go to his house. And yeah, that was one of those nights, man. We sat there just smoking a whole lot of cigarettes and just chilling, munching on a little bit of candy. And it was pretty good. I had my loudspeaker and we were just, sitting there listening to music and everything. So yeah, I remember trying to smoke a cigarette with that mask on. It wasn't the easiest thing in the world. And it's probably part of why the mask yellowed in certain spots, but what can you do? But anyway, finally, we have the final picture on the third row, and it's literally just Spider-Man. This is when I lived at the second house that I lived at. So it wasn't like my first house that I lived at growing up. Well, actually, I moved a lot as a kid. So this was like the third, no, that actually would have been more like the third house, I believe. Wait, no, fourth. I'm sorry, yeah, fourth, fifth, somewhere in there. Anyway, yeah, one of those houses there, and I went as Spider-Man. It was pretty. I do kind of slightly remember that one. It was fun to wear. Obviously, Spider-Man's one of my favorite superheroes. It comes down to either like Batman or Spider-Man for me. I find Spider-Man to be more relatable, obviously, but I also just always love Batman since, like, Batman 89 was my first superhero movie, and just that, I've always loved Batman in general. I really love, like, dark, gritty vibes and stuff. But anyway, getting back on track, yeah, that outfit was fun. I remember I got a lot of candy that night, too, and, yeah, that's about it. So, that's all of my Halloween costumes over the years. If I had to rank them, I'll put the picture back on screen so you can kind of know what I'm talking about as we go. I would say the zombie in the bottom left, that would be my favorite, followed up by Ghostface, followed up by Corey Taylor, followed up by the Mafia outfit, followed up by Spider-Man, followed up by, I want to say either, maybe I'd go Mafia, and then Jack Sparrow, and then Spider-Man, and then Tow Mater, and then the Doctor outfit from when I was a kid, and then the Zombie Doctor last. Now, the Zombie Doctor, that is actually one of my favorite costumes aesthetically, so if I was to rank that fairly, I'd put it higher. But the only reason it's going so low is because I have such bad memories with it because of my swollen nut. But anyways, yep, there it is. I've been ranking all my Halloween costumes over the year. Hope you guys enjoy that. And that's about it. But anyway, as always, a massive shout out and thank you to the patrons and to the members. Thank you to all you in the low baller tier, and an even bigger shout out to the Wibbles, Last King, and Dad Manny, and the biggest shout out to the GT Run Avengers, Blue Cheese Girl, and Script. Thank you guys so much, guys. Little Legends. I love you. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Happy Halloween.